Hi guys, so I'll be showing us how to implement a Flutter localization on your app that helps you translate your application. Yeah, so on the UI we just have like a simple UI that asks you to select language, and then when you select the language, this is supposed to be toggled. So these are like list of stories, and then on the code side of things we have this simple UI. It's actually with the base Flutter project. After creating it, I just did a little bit of changes, so I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible, so I'm maintaining it in one file. Yeah, and then so let's start here. So for this to work, we need to separate the strings basically. So the strings have to be separate and they have to be in one place so we can actually find them whenever we need it. So our code base will be neater. So let's copy these into our app strings. So this is where you can find all the strings used across the app. Then let's name this Flutter demo. And let's come here, let's replace that Flutter demo, and let's take this to our app strings, and let's call it interesting stories. Interesting stories. Let's come here. Okay, so I think we can just copy this and name this interesting stories. And yeah, so let's fix this. Let's call this story 1. So basically we need to have all our strings in one place, so it will be easy for us to implement the localization. So I am assuming on your Flutter app you have most of the strings littered everywhere across your app, so that might be like it might get confusing over time depending on how large your application is. Okay, so this is the last one. Alright, and then let's check our pop spec. So on our pop spec, I added two files. I added two packages rather, Flutter Translator and Flutter Localization. So you can use the most compatible version with your projects. So for us to start implementing, let's check out from the documentation how to use a Flutter Translator, Flutter Localization. Let's go here. Okay. So let's check out the example. Okay, so it says here we need to like initialize the delegates with the languages we want to enable on our app. So we come here, we change this to async, and it has to be future void. And then in our case, we want to support Spanish, French, and German. So this is Spanish, French. So basically these are like the local codes, and to get them we can simply search for the local code of each of the languages we want to support. So let's come here, search for local code. Alright, so let's go with this first one and see. Let's search for Germany. So the local code for Germany is DE. So we type that in. And then the local code for France is FR. So we have that already. The local code for Spanish is ES. We have that already. Okay. Yeah, so let's take this out. Alright. So now we have that set up. So what else are we supposed to do? So we need to provide a localization delegate. So we pick this, we drop it here, and then in our material app we need to take these localization delegates. Okay, so just ignore the warning that's saying no for now. We'll fix that and then we'll come back to that. And then the supported local and the current local. Let's pick that. Alright, so to get the global material localization we need to import Flutter localize. Flutter localize. Alright. Okay, Flutter localizations. Okay. So we need to import Flutter localizations and then that's sorted. And then to have like a seamless integration on the iOS device, we need to add these Cupertino localizations, and also we need to localize our app when we run it. So we need to add localized app, and then the first parameter it takes will be the delegate, and then our app. So we can take this out. So you can take this out and leave it as this. So this way our localization is being provided across every screen of our app. Alright, so it says here assets.en not found. Alright, so let's resolve that. Let's come to our pop spec and then add an asset. So we need to add asset slash i18n slash. Alright, so let's go back to our root folder and create that directory. Asset slash slash 118n. Alright, I think I made a typo there. Alright. Okay, so the way it works is this. So you'd have like a JSON with a key and the value, and then the key being the key of whatever value you want to display on the screen here. So that key will be unique. The key will be the same across all languages, because we'll have different JSON for different languages, so the key would be the same across all those JSON, and then the value would be based on whatever language you're generating it for. Okay, so for our English now, we need to ask ChatGPT to generate the translation of this into JSON. So ChatGPT sort of makes the work easier for us. So we'll copy this and then give a clear instruction to ChatGPT. Translation for this class and make the translation for this class using the example. Class upstream static string get key name translate key and the JSON should be key translated text. All right, so let's ask it to generate for English, Spanish, French, and German. This is the class. All right, so let's see if ChatGPT will get us our translation just the way we want it. All right, I think it got it. So let's see, that should take some time. Okay. All right, so I think we have our English, so let's create that. So we copy the text, come back here, and we do en.json. So note that whatsoever name you're naming your JSON file has to correlate with the shortcode you provided here. Okay, all right, so let's create our file, en.json. All right, okay, so we have our English translation. Let's get our Spanish translation. So we need to do es.json and then paste that in, and then we pick our French. Our French is fr, so that should be fr.json. Okay, and then we pick our German. Our German is de.json. Okay, so we have our JSON setup. All right, so let's get our class. This class is actually really important, so let's get it. So where's our app string? This is it. So we are replacing everything here with this. We are taking this out. Okay, so for the translates, we will get translate from Flutter Translate. So you import that. When you import that, you should be up and running. Okay, so let's rebuild. All right, that should be coming up. Alright, so it's done building. You see the error has gone away. So apparently the reason for the error was because we initially ran it without the localized app, and then it was looking for the localized app and couldn't find it. But now that we have all of that set up, so I think we are pretty much good to go. Alright, so the next step is setting it up properly on the native side. So we are going to do a little bit of, we are going to add the locals on the iOS parts. Okay, so we'll declare our key. So we'll declare our key. So we'll come under here. We'll use key. So the key we are declaring is FC bundle localization. I need to take an array. Take an array, and then here would have string, and each string would be our supported local. All right, so in our case we are supporting EN, which is English. We are supporting ES, which is Spanish. We are supporting FR, which is French, and then we are supporting DE, which is German. Okay, so I think we are pretty good on the iOS side. We've set up our iOS part, and then we've set up the JSON. I think we should probably rebuild, so we would have everything in sync, so we can actually start testing out our translation. Alright, so I think there's an error in our plist, so let's check why that is. Let's come back here. Oh, I think I see what the problem is. This is supposed to be small letter instead of capital letter. Alright, so I think this should work now. Okay, so while that is loading, so basically we need like a way to rebuild our UI whenever there's a change. And also, if you notice here, we are using getter to get our translation, so that way we always get the updated language when it is being changed. And also we need to rebuild the UI. Okay, so we'll have our changes synced across the app. So for that, let's use value notifier of type string, and then we'll call this notifier, and then we'll assign it to value notifier of type English. Okay, so we'll take this out, we'll put it here. Okay, and then we'll wrap our entire app inside the value notifier builder. And then provide our value listenable lamp notifier, our builder, charge, and then we'll return this. So alright, so we need just 2 of this. Alright, child, and then we can call this value and then so let's use this. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. Okay, so now let's come to our language option. When our language is being selected, we need to set the language to what was being selected. So for this, we'll need a switch case. So we need a switch case. So we need to take value and then see if case is English. Then we want to do something with that information. Alright, so if it is Espanol, we want to do something with that information. Le français, Deutsch. Okay, and then we really do not need the default, do we? Okay, so we need to return en. Return. So we need to call this get lang string. And then it takes its string of value, this returns AS, and this returns FR, and this returns DE, and then the default case returns English. So we can actually take this out, put it here. Okay, and then we can actually remove this state and use our lamp notifier instead. The value is equals to value. Okay, and to change the language, you need to call change locale. So change locale taking the context and the locale. So to get the locale, we need to do get lang string and then passing our value to it. Alright, so I believe this should work. Okay, so let's try to change our language and see. selected. Alright, so I think the language is actually changes for the select language, but it didn't change across the entire app. That's for the stories. So let's see why that happened. Okay, our stories, our select language. Okay. Alright, so after briefly debugging it, I think I figured out what the problem was. So if you see our stories here is actually not inside our build method, so it doesn't like get the updated value after the value builder rebuilds. So we are stuck with the value we had at initialization. So let's put it down here and see if that would work. Alright, so it works. So it needs to be inside our builder, or keep it somewhere it sort of like refreshes whenever there is an updated value. And then I also notice we are still making use of the selected languages. So let's use language notifier value here, and then probably delete the selected language and then replace this here. All right. Okay, so I think this works now. Just one last thing to do. So I notice our title also doesn't update. Okay, so in order to make that update, we need to take it out from the higher hierarchy and then bring it down. Take it out from here. Okay, lang notifier value. Okay, so we need to take these out. Take it out here and place it here. Alright, so when we change our language, the titles should also change as well. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so that works. And also alternatively, we could place our value listenable builder above our home widgets. So the idea basically is for you to place it somewhere that covers the entire app, so whenever there's like an update in the language, it rebuilds. That's just the idea. So I think we are good, nothing else to do. Alright guys, so that is how you can add localization to your application. If you have any comment, any suggestion, any improvements, I'll be in the comment section and I'll be dropping the link to the repository. I'll be dropping the link to the repository on the description so you can take a look. Alright, thank you.